I now invite Doreen and Lawrence Ketchens to join me at the podium. On behalf of the faculty, it is my distinct honor and privilege to nominate Doreen and Lawrence Ketchens for the Honorary Doctorate of Music degrees. Sure. Doreen and Lawrence Ketchens are American jazz icons. Hailing from New Orleans, they are regular performers on the streets of New Orleans, where they advance the cause of jazz by bringing outstanding musicianship directly to the people through their regular performances. Doreen Ketchens is an American jazz clarinetist. Like many of New Orleans musicians, she grew up in Treem. She picked up the clarinet when she was in 5th grade and continued with it through high school. During her high school years, she auditioned for Louisiana's Conservatory, the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts, and was accepted. There, she studied with clarinetist Stanley Weinstein. Because of her ability to hit and hold powerful high notes and her love of Louis Armstrong's performance style, she has been nicknamed Lady Louis. Doreen has performed with Ellis Marsalis, John Faddis, Trombone Shorty, Al Hurt, Doreen Dunnigan, the Black Crowes, Jennifer Warnes, and many more. She has also been featured in numerous documentaries about New Orleans and its music and its heritage. Behind every lead singer, and every lead guitarist will tell you that without a strong musician laying the foundation, there is no band. And that is the same for Doreen's Jazz New Orleans Band. Fortunately for Doreen, she has Lawrence. Lawrence Ketchens plays the tuba, the valve trombone, drums, and piano with their band. He is an innovative sousaphonist who taught himself to play jazz by using his classical versatility to develop an original style of tuba playing. Lawrence lays the great foundation that drives the band in a positive way, and he can burst into virtuosic improvisation that puts many horn players to shame. Lawrence Ketchens was the first to play the sousaphone and the drums simultaneously. He also arranges and produces the music for Doreen's Jazz, as well as many master classes for musicians. He has performed with Pete Fontaine, Trombone Shorty, Al Hurt, John Faddis, Teddy Riley, Danny Barker, and countless others. Doreen and Lawrence met at Loyola University. Together, the couple began performing on the streets of New Orleans. From there, these two outstanding musicians went on to entertaining crowds via street shows, jazz festivals, and sales of their music and video on the internet. Their traditional American jazz music has been shared around the world. They have performed with programs that have been sponsored by Jazz at Lincoln Center and the U.S. Department of State. Most recently, they've appeared on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, bringing their outstanding jazz music to a national and international audience. I first became acquainted with them during a visit to New Orleans in 2017. When I ran into them again on a return trip, I was floored with their musicianship and just knew that they should come to Five Towns College. This past January, CBS Sunday Morning broadcast a salute to the musicians that were responsible for preserving jazz during the pandemic, and prolific news anchor Ted Koppel featured them on that show. So here is a clip that I'd like to share with you. Let's sit for a moment while they do the clip.
2+ years into this time of COVID, Ted Koppel is taking us to the streets of New Orleans for a refresher course on the healing power of jazz.
There are two words you don't normally associate with the streets of New Orleans: quiet and empty. It's not that the music ever stopped in the Big Easy, but with the ebb and flow of the pandemic, there have been times when the music was hard to share. Among the musicians hit hardest by the pandemic are the ones who usually work on the street. Like millions of other Americans, Doreen Ketchens on clarinet, husband Lawrence on the tuba, and daughter Doreen on drums, worked from home. As many of us have learned, Zoom is helpful, but it's kind of flat. And when you can't see your audience at all, the chemistry is gone.
I can't stand this live stuff. I'm gonna tell you now.
For Doreen and her family,
Doreen, could you start the song, please? Do low.
the spark is on the street. You'd have seen the difference immediately on an unseasonably warm and sunny December morning at the corner of Royal Street and St. Peter. That intersection, as Ben Jaffe told me, is recognized throughout the community as belonging to Doreen.
You don't touch Doreen's corner.
You don't mess with them.
That corner is the Times Square of the French Quarter. She is world famous.
She is, after all, a classically trained musician. Doreen has played with the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra.
I'll say Doreen has played for dignitaries and presidents and all over the world, but she'd rather be right here on the street. And like, no. Okay.
On the street or playing with the symphony orchestra, good times, bad times, New Orleans musicians have been schooled and raised in a unique culture. Like so many of us in lockdown, Doreen Ketchens and her family were feeling the strain.
I was going crazy not being able to play. And I tell people, even if we were out here and nobody was listening, it'd still be a blessing.
But if you ask Doreen where she dreams of playing, well...
Kennedy Center, Carnegie Hall, Albert Hall.
Albert Hall?
Yeah, and then I can wear something shiny.
How about Milan? You want to go to Milan?
Oh yeah, I've never been to Italy.
Doreen would knock it out of the park because she is one of the world's great clarinetists. But what has the tourists gasping, what can get close to 1 million views when videos are posted online, are Doreen's long notes. So you can just hold your breath for or
yeah.
expel for a very long time.
Yeah, but I mean, there are tricks too. I mean, sometimes if I can hold a note just long enough, they'll just be loud enough for me to just take a breath really quickly.
And keep that note
going.
going.
That's right, that's right.
We're working our way towards losing 1 million Americans. That kind of an event has to have an impact. What do you think is going to happen to our music? Will anything memorialize these times, do you think?
Well, in New Orleans, it's always a second line. You know, the first line is to honor that person, for the bereaved family to express their grief at the loss of their loved one. And once the last family car passes the trumpet player, he gives off a call, something like this. And then the crowd goes, hey! And that hey is supposed to symbolize that the time for bereavement is over. It's time to rejoice because that person has gone on to a better place. And they would release doves, and those doves would symbolize the spirit, the soul of that person rising into the heavens. Doves are not easy to come by. People still had handkerchiefs. So that's what it is. You know, you wave the handkerchief in the air.
Time for a lot of handkerchiefs these days.
Amen.
After seeing them again on CBS Sunday Morning, I shared with Music Division Chair Dr. Stephen Bridey, and we agreed that Lawrence and Doreen Ketchens have both individually demonstrated the characteristics necessary to be awarded an honorary Doctor of Music, and we joined together to nominate them for this award. You can learn more about them on their website at DoreensJazzNewOrleans.org and in your program. for their musical talent and skills, for their endeavors in motivating future musicians, and for their work to preserve the unique American art form of jazz. Five Towns College, by the way, was the first college in New York State to offer a program in jazz. Five Towns College proudly bestows upon Doreen Ketchens and upon Lawrence Ketchens the honorary Doctor of Music degree. Doreen Ketchens and Lawrence Ketchens, by the power vested in me by the Five Towns College Board of Trustees and the New York State Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon you both the honorary Doctor of Music degrees with all the rights and privileges therein contained. And it is my privilege to be the first to address you as Dr. and Dr. Ketchens. I just want to acknowledge that the third member of their band, their daughter, is sitting in the audience. Could you just please stand and be acknowledged? Also, an outstanding percussionist in her own right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I guess we'll say what we have to say together.
Just want to let you guys know that recognition is a wonderful thing. And it takes a while sometimes, but it's absolutely one of the best things in the world. And it doesn't come easy, you know, and it doesn't come in your time either. I mean, sometimes, I remember when I was much younger, I was like, hey, what about me? Hey, look at me, you know? But I didn't stop. I just tried harder to make people look at me and listen to me. And I listened to the greats so that I could understand how to try and be great too. You know, I look at the audience and I see so much hope and, you know, just being proud of yourself, which you should be, and energy. Don't lose it, because you're going to need it. You're going to call upon that thousands of times, because you might think, you know, your education is just ending, but it's really just beginning. And you're going to do it. You're going to do it in a big way. And you're going to absolutely, as proud as you are now, you're going to be even prouder later.
I'd like to thank the Board of Trustees. And David Cohen for bringing us here and giving us these doctorates. And I'd also like to thank all the other institutions of higher education that I've been to, because they all made this moment possible. They made me the tuba player that I am. So I have to start out with my gratitude for the Grambling State University Marching Band. They brought me to Japan when I was young. And after that, I went to the university, Loyola University in New Orleans. So I got to thank the Jesuits for what they gave me. After that, I went to Southern University in New Orleans because we wanted to graduate early. We went to a summer program there. Well, after that, I went to Xavier University in New Orleans, the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament, where I had the best Philly steak sandwich I ever had in my life, might add. I'd like to thank my mother and my father, and her mother, and her father.
if we're thanking God, first of all, and, thank you for your audience. I thank my husband because, everybody says Doreen, Doreen, Doreen. And, behind every good woman, there's an awesome man. Thank you, David Cohen, for the recognition. It's absolutely fabulous. And you guys, we're going to play because speaking is not my strong suit.
Congratulations. I'm happy to join you in the class of 2022.
In that clip, we were talking about the jazz funeral and stuff like that, and we're going to just play a short Closer Walk with Thee, and then we're going to celebrate with When the Saints Go Marching In, by request. And our signature is to not just play at the audience or to the audience, but to celebrate with the audience. So, if you don't mind, when we do that When the Saints Go Marching In, I would hope that we can do that When the Saints Go Marching In. Yes? Lawrence was on the operating table last week. Now he's carrying the heaviest tuba in the world. Here we go. Thank you, Robert. Well, now just a closer walk with thee, talk with thee. We'll grow it, Jesus, if you please. Tell he walking close to thee, well, close to thee. Oh, let it rain, please, dear Lord, let it rain. All right. Now it's time to celebrate again. When the Saints go marching in, all right? I'll say, oh, when the Saints. You say, oh, when the Saints. I say, go marching in. You sing, go marching in. And then we'll all sing, oh, when the Saints go marching in. And then instead of saying, oh, well, I want to be an number, you oh, Saints go marching in. You got it?
Yeah.
All right. You know, we're all musicians and artists and, you know, we're creators.
Where'd the rug go?
Oh, when the Saints, oh, marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, well, Saints go marching. A little louder, please. Oh, when the Saints, go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, well, Saints go marching.
Dr. Lawrence Ketchens on the sousaphone.
Thank you, Five Towns. Congratulations, class of 22, 22. All the best.
When they sit down, you'll know. Give it up one more time for Drs. Ketchens.